Previously on Chandra Nandini, Helena, in her wildest sense, had always had that sort of wicked intentions towards Nandini. So she sent a Dasi to spy her out, in the name of Clivi. This makes it hard for Chandra in meeting Nandini without being disguised as another man. Helena likewise notices this and sorts for the man's real identity. Meanwhile, Apama, her mother, had sneaked back into Magadha, to continue her wicked intentions. Her next biggest plan will be to manipulate Padmanand's arrest by Chandra, in order to gain favor again. Friday on Chandra Nandini shows how Padmanand is finally arrested. Keep watching.
Chandra asks Madhav to answer some questions which were bothering him, since Madhav supposedly knew all about love. What should one do, if your beloved hate everything you do? Chandra asked. How will you convince her? He added. So Madhav answers, Vaya, you have no ideas regarding love. Because you don't listen and think according to your heart. When you start thinking with your heart, you will know. So Madhav, what should I do? What have you done to Malti that she's always by your side? Chandra curiously asked again. I share everything with her, take her advice, and let her participate in every work of mine. Madhav drops the hints. Upon receiving this idea from Madhav, Chandra then thinks on how to do same with Nandini. So he walked up to Nandini while she was bathing. Nandini saw someone approaching, so she covered herself, hid behind a pillar and asked who it was. It's me, Chandra replied. Nandini reminded Chandra that she hadn't accepted him, nor his friendship. But having planned what to do, Chandra sought her advice for Magadha, as a queen. Feeling perplexed as Chandra hadn't done that before, Nandini asks why she is the one Chandra was seeking advice from. Because I can trust you in such matters, he replied. Some farmers are being treated wrong. Chandra added. But your soldiers can take care of that, why me? But Nandini then thinks, this might be one of Chandra's games. So she later said she was busy. Meanwhile, Chandra felt disappointed. And started planning on what to do next. Chandra, Nandini called, are you still there? Chandra had insisted on staying until she said yes. So for the second time, she disagreed. But Chandra tricked her into saying yes. She then slipped into Chandra's arms. Next, while Nandini played with Bindusara, she saw Chandra leave with his friends, but disguised. Chandra signs her to join him, but Nandini disagreed and left. If she truly loves me, she will come with me. Chandra thought to himself. Over from there, Padmanand is informed that Chandra had left the Mahal with Madhav. This time I will kill Chandra, Mali asserted. Meanwhile, Padmanand had also thought the same thing. I will go with my selected soldiers and no one shall accompany me, he said. Chandragupta Maurya, I'm coming for you. Next, Mali was with Chanakya and declaring his intentions against Chandra. Today, I will surely take my revenge. Tonight, Padmanand will attack Chandra, and I know what I have to do. Mali, I told you Padmanand is the reason behind your father's death, Chanakya reminded him. I know, Mali answered. Just when Chandra is informed about Padmanand's approach, then I will trap Padmanand, and kill him. Okay Mali, Chanakya answered without an option. I will do just that for you. He assured Mali. Next, Chandra, being disguised with Madhav in the marketplace, was checking up on some stores and farmers. We've been out of the Mahal for so long, so let's make use of it, he told his companions. Meanwhile, he had been waiting for Nandini all this while. So Gopal intentionally asked him to concentrate, because Nandini wasn't coming any sooner. But Madhav on the other hand encouraged Chandra, that Nandini would surely come. So Chandra was in doubt, what if she doesn't come? He asked. Well, it depends on how strong your bond is, Gopal answered him. Back in the Mahal, Nandini informs Malti to see how uneasy Bindusara was. But Malti replied her that it was because she, Nandini herself, was uneasy. What do you mean? Nandini asked her. So Malti explains, it's because you wish to meet Maharaj. Not really, Malti. Chandra is so weird. Nandini added. He keeps approaching me with weird outfits. What would people think? But why are you worried this way? Malti asked her. What would people say when there's a strong bond between you two? But Nandini started scolding her for always taking Chandra's side, because she is married to his brother. Just then, Nandini received a message from her informer. So she asked Malti to look after Bindusara, and then left in disguise. Meanwhile, Padmanand and his troop were also in the market disguised, and looking for Chandra. There, Nandini pulled Chandra on reaching him. I knew you would come, Chandra expressed his excitement. Well, I had to because. But just when Nandini started answering him, because you accepted my friendship? Chandra cut her words short. No Chandra, but. Chandra had already started thanking her for giving him his biggest gift by coming, unaware of the looming danger. Nandini, please spend some time with me here, okay? But Nandini suddenly disclosed the message to him, Padmanand and his troops are ready to attack you here, she said. Just then, Padmanand and his soldiers had spotted them easily. So Chandra asked his companions to stay. He then got into a fight with them. Chandra, Padmanand called, today I'll kill you. You bastard again? Chandra rebutted. So Padmanand threw dust into his eyes, and quickly rushed to attack him. But Nandini stopped him in his tracks. Before him, you will have to kill me, she challenged Padmanand. Nandini, get out of my way. I've been bloody tasty for Chandra, he said. Then kill me, I challenge you. Nandini replied. Look at your greed, you are here to kill your daughter's husband. But Padmanand explained that by killing him, he would get back his throne. So father and daughter argue for a while. Padmanand was then ready to attack Nandini. But Chandra stopped him early. Just when Padmanand learned that Magadha's soldiers had surrounded them, he quickly took to his heels. As the soldiers pushed against Padmanand, they started hurting Nandini in the process. So Chandra came to his rescue and commended her bravery. By the way, why did you come? Chandra asked her. I came to deliver the same message, on this particular incident which just happened. Padmanand was here to kill you, Nandini said. So Chandra told her to ask for anything, and he would grant her request. All the while, Clovey, who had been keeping an eye on Nandini by Helena's command, mistakenly run into her. Who are you? Nandini probed her. So Clovey started introducing herself. This made Nandini remember how Chandra had warned her about one Clovey. So she didn't entertain much of her, and left the scene immediately. Over from there, Nandini had returned back to the Mahal, so Helena went to her room. My sister, you are always with Bindusara, at least, spend some time with me too. Helena said, so Nandini put Bindusara to sleep and took to the garden with Helena. What kind of boys did you like when you were a teenager? She asked, but Nandini explained to her that she wasn't interested in boys, but rather books. Well, as for me, I liked tall guys and those with beard too. Helena told her, so Nandini got confused for a while. She then asked herself why Helena was saying all those. But she instantly remembered how Chandra once approached her, disguised like a monkey with beard. So Nandini quickly agreed with Helena. You are right, she said, I like guys with beard, especially those with monkey-like faces. Next, Appama was hiding somewhere, thinking of ways to get back to the Mahal. Helena is doing her job well and now, I have to do something to get back in the Mahal. She thought to herself. Meanwhile, Chandra was also in his room, thinking about the battle night and says, this means Nandini cares about me and loves me. Just then, Helena rushed to him and asked for a talk with him about Nandini. Remember I told you about the man who meets Nandini, she began. He looks like a monkey. My Dasi saw him, and even Nandini herself said she likes men who look like monkeys. And it's so weird, she's beautiful but prefers such an ugly guy. There, a guard came to inform Chandra that it's time for announcement. So Chandra left her to give the announcement, as his people cheered him on his arrival. Unknowingly, Apama was disguised among them. I have an important announcement to make, he began. Padmanand is here in Magadha, and we have closed all gates leading out of Magadha. And as such, anyone who helps me in gathering information about his whereabouts shall be rewarded. So upon hearing this, Apama took plans on utilizing the opportunity to get back to the Mahal. Over from there, Chandra sees Clovey keeping an eye on Nandini's room. So he slowly called a Dasi and shared a plan with her. She laughed after hearing him, and then left. Next, the Dasi approached Clovey and confronted her thus, "Listen, are you Helena's informer?" "But who told you?" Clovey asked, surprised. "A monkey told me," she replied. "And where is that monkey?" Clovey was anxious to know. So Dasi answers, "Look, there." Clovey then left spying Nandini's room. The way was now clear, so Chandra walked into Nandini's room, but found her in tears. So he started consoling her. "I know you are upset and hurt, but trust me. I'm doing this for Magadha. Please don't explain yourself." Nandini didn't let him complete his sentence. "My father is wrong, and he deserves to be punished. So I won't stop you. Go Chandra, you have to finish a big work." So Chandra thanked her for understanding and then left. There, Apama met with Mali. Mali told her about how he had laid this careful plan, as an attempt to avenge his father's death, but Nand escaped it. So Apama asked him to give out every information about Nand's whereabouts. And further promised to find him a way to also get back in the Mahal, once she succeeds. So Mali shared the information with Apama. Meanwhile, Clovey had sustained an injury in going after the monkey man. But while Chandra looked, he saw a lady covered up in a blanket in the corridor, and followed her. The lady was about approaching the throne room, when Chandra ordered her to stop. "Who are you?" he asked. So she turned around, and removing her cover, there stood Apama. So Chandra got very angry. "I asked you to stay away from Magadha, didn't I? Are you insulting a king's decision? You have to be sentenced to death for coming back." But Apama quickly handed him the letter which had information about Padmanand's whereabouts. She then asked Chandra to jail her, if the information was false. So Chandra took the information along with few soldiers to the marketplace. But he found nothing after a short while. "This means Apama lied to me," he said. Just when they were about leaving, Chandra noticed something suspicious. So he asked his soldiers to open a box, and there, a secret passage went down the lane. So Chandra followed it carefully, and it eventually led to Padmanand, who was then asleep. His soldiers then slowly tiptoed in, and successfully arrested him. Padmanand suddenly woke up, only to realize he had been put in chains. Fuming with rage, he looked at Chandra in the eye as he walked to him. "Chandragupta!" Padmanand shouted. But Chandra sounded him. "One more word from you and I'll behead you. So just shut up and walk." Finally, everybody was gathered in Sabha upon Nand's arrest. So Malti asked why Chandra had summoned them in the middle of the night. Just then, Chandra walked in towards his throne and ordered, "Get him in." So Padmanand is brought in handcuffed. Nandini gets shocked and break out in tears. Precap. Chanakya says, tomorrow morning, Padmanand will be beheaded in front of everybody in Magadha. Nandini says, "Chandra, please let me meet my father once, before he dies."
Thank you for watching.
And don't forget to subscribe.